Welcome to the NCERT Audiobook Class 11th, Chapter number 1st, The Living World. Let's start. How wonderful is the living world? The wide range of living type is amazing. The extraordinary habit in which we find living organism, be it cold mountain, deciduous forest, ocean, freshwater, lakes, desert, or hot spring, leave us speechless. The beauty of galloping horse, of the migrating bird, the valley of flower, or the attracting shark evoke away and a deep sense of wonder. The ecological conflict and cooperation, or even the molecular traffic inside a cell, make us deeply reflect on what indeed is life. This question has two implicit questions within it. The first is a technical one and seeks answer to what living is opposed to the non-living, and the second is a philosophical one and seek answer to what the purpose of life is. As scientists, we shall not attempt answering the second question. We will try to reflect on what is living. 1.1. Diversity in the living world. If you look around, you will see a large variety of living organisms, be it potted plant, insects, birds, your pet or other animal and plant. There are also several organisms that you cannot see with your naked eye, but they are all around you. If you were to increase the area that you make observation in, the range and variety of organisms that you see would increase. Obviously, if you were to visit a dense forest, you could probably to see a much greater number and kinds of living organism in it. Each different kind of plant, animal or organism that you see represent a species. The number of species that are known and described range between 1.7 to 1.8 million. This refers to biodiversity, or the number and types of organisms present on Earth. We should remember here that as we explore new area and even old one, new organisms are continuously being identified. As stated earlier, there are millions of plant and animal in the world. We know the plant and animal in your own area by their local name. This local name could vary from place to place, even within a country. Probably you could recognize the confusion that could be created if you did not find a way and means to talk to each other to refer to organism we are talking about. Hence, there is a need to standardize the naming of living organism in a particular organism is known as the same name all over the world. This process is called nomenclature. Obviously, nomenclature or naming is only possible when the organism is described correctly and we know what organism that the name is attached to it. This is identification. In order to facilitate the study, the number of scientists have established procedure to assign a scientific name to each known organism. This is acceptable to biologists all over the world. For plant, scientists' names are based on the agreed principle and certain which are provided in International Code for Botanical Nomenclature ICBN. You may ask how are animal named? Animal taxonomists have evolved International Code of Zoological Nomenclature ICZN. The scientific name ensures that each organism has only one name. description of any organism should enable the people in any part of the world to arrive at the same name. They also ensure that such a name has not been used for any other known organism. Biologists follow universally accepted principle to provide scientific name to known organism. Each name has two components, the generic name and the specific epithet. This system of providing a name with two components is called binomial nomenclature. This naming system given by the Carolus Linnaeus is being practiced by biologists all over the world. This naming system using two-word format was found convenient. Let us take the example of mango to understand the way of providing scientific name better. The scientific name of mango is written as Mangifera indica. Let us see how it is a binomial name. In this name, Mangifera represents the genus, while indica is a particular species or a specific epithet. Other universal rules of nomenclature are as follow. First, biological names are generally in Latin and written in italic. They are Latinized or derived from Latin, irrespective of their origin. Second point, the first word is in a biological name represent the genus, while the second component denote the specific epithet. Third point, both the word in a biological name, when handwritten, are separately underlined or printed in italic to indicate their Latin origin. Fourth point, the first word denoting the genus start with a capital letter, while the specific epithet start with the small letter. It can be illustrated with the example of Mangifera indica. Name of the other appear after the specific epithet example at the end of the biological name and is written in a abbreviated form example Mangifera indica Lin. It indicates that this species was first described by Linnaeus. Since it is nearly impossible to study all the living organisms, it is necessary to devise some means to make this possible. This process is classification. Classification is the process by which anything is grouped into convenient categories based on some easily observable character. For example, we easily recognize groups such as plant or animal or dog, cat or insect. The moment we use any of these terms, we associate certain character with the organism in that group. What image do you see when you think of a dog? Obviously, each one of us will see dog and not cat. Now, if you were to think of Alsatians, we know that we are thinking about similarly. Suppose we were to say mammal, you could, of course, think of animal with external ear and body hair. Likewise, in the plant, if you try to talk of wheat, the picture in each of your mind will be of a wheat plant, not of a rice or any other plant. Hence, all these dog, cat, mammals, wheat, right, plants, animals, etc. are convenient categories we use to study organism. The scientific term of this category is taxa. Here you must recognize that taxa can indicate categories at very different level. Plant also from a taxa, wheat is also a taxa. Similarly, animals, mammals, dog are taxa, but you know that a dog is a mammal and mammal are animal. Therefore, animal and mammal and dog represent taxa at a different level. Hence, based on characteristic of living organism can be classified into different taxa. This process of classification is taxonomy. External and internal structure, along with the structure of cell development, process and ecological information of organism are essential and form the basis of modern taxonomic studies. Hence, characteristic identification, classification, and nomenclature are the processes that are based to taxonomy. Taxonomy is not something new. Human beings have always been interested in knowing more and more about the various kind of organism, particularly with reference to their own use. In early day, human beings needed to find source for their basic need of food, clothing, and shelter. Hence, the earliest classification were based on the uses of various organisms. Human beings were since long not only interested in knowing more about different kinds of organisms and their diversities, but also the relationship among them. This branch of study was referred to as systematic. The word systematic is derived from the Latin word systema, which means systematic arrangement of organisms. Linnaeus used Systema Nature as the title of his publication. The scope of the systematic was later enlarged to include identification, nomenclature, and classification. Systematic take into account evolutionary relationship between organisms. 1.2 Taxonomic categories. Classification is not a single-step process but involves hierarchy of steps in which each step represents a rank or category. Since the category is a part of overall taxonomic arrangement, it is called the taxonomic category, and all categories together constitute the taxonomic hierarchy. Each category referred to as a unit of classification in fact represent a rank and are commonly termed as taxon, taxa. Taxonomy category and hierarchy can be illustrated by an example. Insects represent a group of organisms sharing common ancestor feature like three pair of jointed legs. It means insects are recognizable concrete object which can be classified and thus were given a rank or categories. Can you name other such group of organisms? Remember, group represent category. Category for their denote rank. Each rank or taxon in fact represent a unit of classification. These taxonomic group categories are distinct biological entities and not merely morphological aggregate. Taxonomical studies of all known organisms have led to the development of common categories such as kingdom, phylum, or division for plant class, order, family, genus, and species. All organisms, including those in plant and animal kingdom, have species as the lowest categories. Now the question you may ask is how to place an organism in various categories. The basic requirement is the known age of character of an individual or group of organisms. These help in the identification similarities and dissimilarities among the individual of the same kind of organism as well as of other kind of organism. 1.2.1 Species. Taxonomic studies consider a group of individual organisms with the fundamental similarities as a species. One should be able to distinguish one species from the other closely related species based on the distinct morphological differences. Let us consider Mangifera indica, Solanum, Tugricium, any potato, and Panthera leo lion. All the three names indica, tuberosa, and leo represent the specific epithet, while the first word of Magifera, Solinum, and Panthera are genera and represent another higher level of taxon or category. Each genus may have one or more than one specific epithet representing different organisms but having the morphological similarities. For example, Panthera has another species epithet called tigris, and Solanum includes species like nigrum and Melongelena. Human beings belong to the species Sapien, which is grouped in the genus Homo. The scientific name thus for human being is written as Homo sapien. 1.2.2 Genus. Genus comprises a group of related species which can more characters in common in comparison to species of other genera. We can say that genera are aggregate of closely related species. For example, potato and brinjal are two different of species but both belonging to the genus Solanum. Lion, Panthera leo, leopard, and tiger, with several common features, are all species of the genus Panthera. This genus different from the another genus Felis, which include cats. 1.2.3 Family. The next category, family, has a group of related general with still less number of similarities as compared to genus and species. Families are characterized on the basis of both vegetative and reproductive feature of the plant species along plant. For example, three different genera Solanum, Petunia, and Datura are placed in the family Solanaceae. Along an animal, for example, genus Panthera comprising lion, tiger, leopard is put along with genus Felis in the family of Felidae. Similarly, if you observe the feature of a cat and a dog, you will find some similarities and some differences as well. They are separated into two different families, Felidae and Canidia, respectively. 1.2.4 Order. You have seen earlier that categories like species, genus, and families are based on a number of similar characters. Generally, order and other higher taxonomic categories are identified based on the aggregate of characters. Order, being a higher category, is the assemblage of families which exhibit a few similar characters. The similar characters are less in the number as compared to different genera. Include in a family. Plant families like the Convolvulaceae, Solanaceae are included in the order Polynomial, mainly based on the floral character. The animal order Carnivora includes family like the Felidae and Canidia. 1.2.5 Class. This category include a related order, for example, order Primata, comprising monkey, gorilla, and gibbon, is placed in class mammal, along with other carnivores that includes animals like tiger, cat, and dog. Class Mammalia has other order also. 1.2.6 Phylum. Classes of comprising animal like fishes, amphibian, reptile, bird, along with mammal, constitute the next higher category called phylum. This based on the common feature like the presence of notochord and dorsal hollow neural system are included in phylum Chordata. In case of plant, classes with a few similar characters are Assigned to a higher category is called division. 1.2.7 Kingdom. All animals belong to various phyla are assigned to the highest category called kingdom animalia in the classification system of animal. The kingdom Plantae, on the other hand, is distinct and comprises all plants from various divisions. Henceforth, we will refer to these two groups as animal and plant kingdom. The taxonomic category from species to kingdom have been so in the ascending order starting with the specific figure 1.1 species, genus, family, order, class, phylum or division, kingdom. There are broad categories, however, taxonomic have also developed subcategories in the hierarchy to facilitate more sound and scientific placement of various taxa. Look at the hierarchy in figure 1.1. Can you recall the basic of arrangement? Say, for example, we go higher from species to kingdom, the number of common characteristics goes on the decreasing. Lower the taxon, more are the characteristics that are membered within the taxon share. Higher the category, greater is the difficulty of determining the relationship to other taxa at the same level. Hence, the problem of classification become more complex. Table 1.1. Please read.